Well, if I can help, maybe we could help each other.
What are you doing in here, White?
Miss Bennett told me to come in and clean up.
White, you're not exactly throwing yourself into your work, are you? I think I'll just stay here until you do.
Would you see that these are sent to the nursery, please, Sally?
Where did these come from?
Doreen.
Oh. Well, I hope we're not going to have to put up with too much more of her erratic behaviour.
Not if we're understanding and keep an eye on her.
Too much sympathy will only make her worse. She'll probably want to spend the next few weeks in bed.
Well, Jim's just taken her to the recreation room.
What?
Surely even you couldn't expect her to go straight back to work, Vera.
Excuse me. My name's Morris. My daughter, Tracy, I'd like to see her, please.
Yes, certainly. If you just sign up here, please.
Just a moment, Mrs. Jackson. Has Inspector Grace spoken to you, Mr. Morris?
Well, yes, he has, as a matter of fact.
Well, does he know you're here?
I assume so.
Then you won't mind if I check with him.
Look, madam, I don't know what business it is of yours, but he met me at the airport with half the drug squad. I've been questioned and harassed. My luggage has been searched inside and out, and I find my daughter is in prison on a drug charge. Now, I think I've taken just about enough for one day, so if I don't see my daughter in 1 minute, I'll be the one making the phone call, and it will be to someone with a bit more authority than your Inspector Grace.
Keep away from her. She's a friend of Bee's.
What's the matter with her?
She's mad. She shouldn't even be in here.
But she's only about my age.
She's a recidivist. You know, in and out of prison since she can remember.
She seemed all right the other day.
Oh, why do you think they've got an officer watching her? Look, the sooner you get out of here, the better. Is this friend really that important to you?
Come on, White.
You've got a visitor, Morris? It appears your father's arrived earlier than expected. Well, I'm sure he's fascinated to hear your side of the story.
I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't want to get you in trouble. I tried telling them. I didn't know what was in that parcel. Please, just take me home.
Shh, it's all right, darling. We'll try to sort it out.
I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to sit down, Mr. Morris.
I'm just trying to write to you. Dad, I'm so scared.
Take it easy, darling. The police told me what happened.
Yeah, but they don't believe me.
Well, I do. And you've never lied to me before.
Can't you just talk to them? Please take me home.
Tracy, you've got to tell the police everything. Now, all right, you thought you were smuggling in gold. Now, that's still an offense, but it's far less serious than heroin. Darling, what possessed you? I mean, you've always had everything you wanted. Now, was it for kicks or what? Look, if we can prove that you didn't know there were drugs, we've got a good chance of getting you out of this. But you've got to tell them who gave you that parcel.
I can't. I just can't.
Look, darling, I know we haven't always seen as much of each other as we should have done. But still, we've been close, haven't we? And we've always trusted each other.
Dad, that's what I want you to do. I want you to trust me.
Tracy,
No!
I can't help you unless you meet me halfway.
Yes, you can. Dad, I need some money. I've got to have it.
Oh, it's against regulations. All money has to be handed in at reception.
Yes, of course. How much do you want?
I'm afraid you don't understand. The money is only to buy essential items, and there is a limit on how much she can have.
But I need it. I've got to have it.
But why, Tracy?
I don't know. I just thought I'd need it.
Judging by what I saw, I think it's a mistake to keep Burns in the recreation room. It's only giving her more time to wallow in self-pity.
Do you have a better suggestion, Miss Bennett?
She could go to the laundry. Of course, I don't mean she should work, but at least she'll be with her friends, and we can watch her just as well in there.
Very well. I see no harm in that. Thank you for your concern.
I'm only doing my job, Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, Mrs. Davidson, Tracy Morris's father's here. He'd like to speak to you.
Certainly.
Mr. Morris? Mrs. Davidson.
Mr. Morris?
Thank you for seeing me.
Please sit down.
Thank you. I've just spoken to my daughter, Mrs. Davidson, and as far as I can gather, she's being frightened out of her wits.
Yes, well, she was very upset, but she wouldn't tell us what was wrong.
Being imprisoned for the first time is traumatic for anyone, Mr. Morris, especially for someone of your daughter's age. It's probably just a reaction.
She's all I've got, and if anything happens to that girl...
I do understand your concern, Mr. Morris, but worrying isn't going to help you or Tracy.
Ever since her mother died, I've seen she's had the best of everything. Granted, she's had too much done for her. That's probably what got her into this mess. She's never had to think for herself before. But I know my daughter, and I say she's terrified.
Well, there are several reasons for that, Mr. Morris. She's facing serious charges. She's in a totally different environment from one she has been used to. And there is the possibility, and I repeat, possibility, that there was no friend, and Tracy knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh, and Dor, you can just make yourself comfortable, and you can watch us while we work.
Oh, that'll be a thrill for the day. Well, Lizzie does it all the time, doesn't she?
Oh, I folded more sheets than a whole lot of you all put together.
Listen, honey, you sure you wouldn't rather lie down?
No, I'd rather be here with all of you.
Well, I tell you what. When you get sick of watching us, you can watch Mr. Fletcher watching us.
I just wish he'd stop following me around.
Oh, if he wants to be nursemaid, let him.
Yeah, but it gives me the creeps. I'm okay, honest.
Not everybody has a screw tagging along after him, and I bet that if you asked for something special, you'd get it. Like watching the midday film or getting cooked to make you something nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to stay in the rec room anyway because there was just that new girl and Kay there. And B said that we weren't supposed to be talking to Kay. Well, not that I would have anyway.
So that's what Vera wanted her to do.
What, cleaning?
Tracy. Now, why would Vera want her to hang around Tracy? What were they talking about?
Well, I don't know. But they didn't have much chance because Fletcher was watching all the time.
Yeah, now we're lumbered with him.
Well, I'm sorry.
We better find out what Vera wants with that kid. And fast.
Come on, ladies. You can talk just as well while you're working, you know.
What, with you hanging around, we can't bust her.
Come up with anything yet?
Wherever Doreen goes, Fletch goes.
Yeah. Well, Fletch will know that something's up if Dora asks to go back into the rep room.
Not if Mrs. Jackson thinks it's a good idea.
So all we got to do is get Dora to keep Kay and Tracy apart until we can get Kay back in here with us.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't lying. But assuming he is the one behind his daughter, then he wouldn't necessarily smuggle anything in himself, would he? I see. No, I haven't been able to find out anything yet. But a girl with her background will want her home comforts as soon as possible. She's going to get sick of playing games. Don't you worry about that. Well, my pleasure. Thank you. What are you doing creeping up on me like that?
Who are you talking to, Vera?
Well, Inspector Grace, if you must know.
Have you been pressuring Tracy Morris?
Of course not. I treat her the same as all the others. Unless, of course, you want me to be soft on her because she's from a so-called respectable family.
She's scared, Vera. Now, at first I thought it could have been for a lot of reasons, but now I'm beginning to wonder.
I was giving her some sound advice, which is usually your area, isn't it?
Have you any idea why she'd ask her father for money?
Well, how would I know?
She wouldn't be thinking of paying off a certain officer who'd been giving her a hard time.
I have never been dishonest in my life, so don't you ever accuse me of extortion.
All right. But why the sudden interest in helping the police?
I've got work to do.
It'll look good on your record, wouldn't it, Vera? I mean, you could be in line for a promotion. Not here, but somewhere else. Come in.
Oh, there you are, Mrs. J. I've got to talk to you about Dor.
Yes, Lizzie.
She's been stuck in the laundry. I know she's not working and she likes having us around it. But the heat and all, it's not doing her any good. She needs a bit of peace and quiet.